Time and again, it has been proved that Pakistan is not interested in trying to shed its pro-jihad reputation. The appointment of Masood Khan as Pakistan's ambassador to the United States is another blatant display of the Islamic regime's attempts to mainstream jihadist ideologies and co-opt terrorist supporters. A report.
We grieve today for Burhan Wani, and we grieve together for him as a nation.
We grieve today for Burhan Wani. He lives on in our hearts. He sacrificed his life for a cause. These are the words of Masood Khan, the former president of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, when he was paying homage to the Hizbul Mujahideen terrorist Burhan Wani. Masood, who has now been appointed as Pakistan's new ambassador to the United States, is terrorism's newest errand boy in diplomacy. On several occasions in the past, he has shamelessly stood by the jihadis. Recently, an article by Sam Westrop in Middle East Forum also highlighted Masood's open support to terrorist organizations and jihadist elements. It shows how Khan has been vocal against US sanctions against Hizbul Mujahideen's Sayyid Salahuddin. Moreover, Masood has also been seen sharing the stage with Fazlur Rahman Khalil, founder of Harkatul Mujahideen. Masood Khan's appointment as ambassador to the United States is evidence of an increasingly dangerous Pakistani regime which is working to support Islamists all around the world.
Masood Khan is this sort of blatant propaganda machinery being deployed to America. It's more a sign of desperation of Pakistan, because they're doing it not to, placate people in DC who will never take this man seriously. They're doing it to placate people in Pakistan to, divert attention from the economic crisis back home and show, that somehow this person is raising the Kashmir issue and internationalizing the Kashmir issue and things like that.
मैं नहीं जाऊंगा जी, मैं नहीं जाऊंगा. एक स्पॉइलर जो है वो पीसमेकर बनने की कोशिश नहीं कर सकता.
With the help of educated radical diplomats, Islamabad wants to increase its influence with global Islamism and also to assist Pakistan's Islamist-driven foreign policy against India. The notorious South Asian country is willing to divert attention away from its reprehensible role in Afghanistan towards the question of Kashmir. For several years, well-educated pro-jihadi politicians and diplomats in Pakistan have played a major role in promoting terrorism in Kashmir and Western countries. They continue to pose a significant threat to regional and international security. Under the influence of such radical diplomats and religious preachers in Western countries, immigrants of different Islamic countries have started to be perceived as Muslims. The indoctrinated radical youths, particularly those belonging to Pakistan, are now threatening the social fabric of Western societies.
What we need to be aware about is that, the caliber and the nature of the Pakistani ambassador to DC doesn't really matter. Because it really depends on the government back home how seriously or not they get taken. If you read Hussein Haqqani's book about his ambassadorship in America, you'll see that, a man of his stature was treated quite shabbily based on the duplicity of his government back home.
Pakistan and America have been gripped together in a deadly embrace for decades. For half a century, American presidents from both parties pursued narrow short-term interests in Pakistan. This myopia actually backfired in the long term, helping to destabilize the political landscape and radicalize the population. It helped in setting the stage for the international jihad we face today. Western countries, including America, must realize now that Pakistan will never change its policy on terrorism. If the US is serious about combating global jihad, it needs to act against the Islamic fundamentalists in Pakistan.